spawning on the top left of Abyssal Reef. It is the green Zerg, the yellow Zerg. It is yellow actually. Yeah, it is. The green Zerg, Sitaska. On the bottom right. Hey, left, right, you know. Well, the bottom right of Abyssal Reef, the blue Terran. It is Estatte, called Unfabulous on Europe server here. So what's up in that matchup? Both players playing in that first best of 5. Just making sure everything goes alright. Just hold on a couple minutes. Yeah, there we go. Everything's nice and running. Refinery straight after the barracks. Terran versus Zerg in that first match of that best of 5. SCV's mining and all that is coming up with it. So will it be a Reaper first? Will it be another stall here to begin the day with? I think Unfabulous Estatte will be going for a Reaper to just scout what's up in the first game. This is really important in the best of 5. When you want to know or you don't know your opponent and you, how to say, don't want to lose straight, you'd better know what type of build or what type of player he is by already poking the other player up in the early game. The Reaper is the perfect role unit for that. So pull after the hatchery and the gas. So yeah, everything is going fine. There's no special trends in that first match of this best of 5. Orbital command called straight Reaper going up as well, and we'll see probably a factory straight up after that. But the command center is going to be planted low ground, which is actually a risk that Terrans can take, but it gets you a little bit quicker mining there. Though if you want to be really safe, you can plant it up in the high ground instead and have it surely finish. But you're gonna have to lift it up, plant it down, morph it as orbital command, and that's gonna take a lot of time of the SCV and the mining time. So that's a decision that some Terran players make when they feel safe and confident enough. The hatchery is being scouted by Estatte here. Sitaska just going after that SCV with the drone. And if you guys don't know, they have the exact same amount of health points. But the thing is that drones regenerate. So the SCV is always gonna lose. Well, no, actually it's 45 here, but yeah. Since they regenerate, they have one more hit, so yeah, well, whatever. My explanations are crap, if I can say it like that, crap. But yeah, we get the feeling. Second barracks pumped out, the reactor there, so more marines gonna come out of that barracks. 2 gases there with one SCV on that one. Tech lab straight off that barracks, or command center's gonna finish in a couple moments. Tech lab out of that one. Factory coming up, and we have the speedling research almost done. 2 queens there, 4 links. Not gonna harass, but just gonna keep them there in case the Reaper's just coming for more action. But I think I've missed the Reaper action. No, not even? No, there it is. Scanning up in the main, not seeing the second gas they're taking a little bit of time off the drones there, and seeing that the pool is working. The speedling research is gonna be scouted just about now. Well done on the timing here, just scouting more around. Sees the roach warrior in there. Well, everything's expected here. Sitaska takes that Reaper out, but everything's been scouted, and now it's all up to how Sitaska reacts from that. Will she take a third base? Will she go for an aggressive attack here, or... No, she's taking the third base, making sure that everything's still under her control in terms of macros. Starport is planted down, reactor as well. Steam pack research, more marines on the way. It's a 2-1-1 build there, guys, if you guys don't know that. But since the GM, the chat is always GM, well, there's no explaining here for me to do. More drones pumped out on the Zerg side. Sitaska just trying to take as much of the lead as possible in these first stages of the game. Not taking as much units as she could have, but yeah, 4 links is enough for now. She doesn't need anything else, and if she scouts anything with these guys, overlords, well, she's just gonna make more units and hold that off. It's also one stage of the game known to be like sort of pacific, where both players are just looking each other in the eye and just making their tech or their macro. So, yo Suno, go Terran, yeah, the Terrans. So we have a clear favorite here for the chat. The Terran player Estatte is still favorite. Let's see if Sitaska just goes for a good thing here. Oh, well scouted. She also scouts the links there, so that's 10 links on the way. More drones though. More drones like... Well, I have 22 links, or 20 links, well, I count badly, but that's not the point. 2 medevacs will come up with the steam research, all the marines will be there, 16 marines, and it can already be played in this first stage of the game if Sitaska doesn't hold that off very well. Here we'll see how Estatte will take that off here. These medevacs are landing, will be landing maybe on the natural instead of the third, and that's a good choice. There's no overload on that path, and she's gonna get unscouted for the most part. We have 6 roaches, 8 roaches on the way. We'll see. Steam pack research is done. The boost on the medevacs is actually refreshed right now. She can go for another one. And, well, couple links on the background to actually try and harass on the other side. So, well, scouted now. Will she decide to take these links back and actually do something else, or just go for the harass here and just do whatever she can in order to prevent taking too much damage? These medevacs scouted totally here. The roaches in position already there to defend in case something nasty happens, and now it's all down to how the micro goes down. There's no spore in that base, so the medevacs can be there for free. All the links will perish because the exploit here from the minerals is really well done. 4 drones off, 5 drones in total. Maybe taking that pool as well would be a huge damage there. The 3 marines not unlanded there, and ooh, look at the damage output here from the marines with the steam pack here. Look at everything being taken down really quickly. Is 3 marines still there? Not much to be done here. All the queens perished, 8 drones in total. These roaches will not do much since they're all back here, and once they are gonna come up, she's gonna just land back in this. I'll say, yeah, go back in the medevacs. Well, you know what? I'm done here. I didn't come here to suffer, and they are just going back. Maybe to the natural, maybe to the third, maybe doing just trying to find openings to do more damage here. The +1 upgrade on the armor, the tanks are prepared as well, so everything is going smooth here for Estatte here. Just taking a huge lead, taking 2 queens off, 8 drones, and looks at all these roaches be like, well, you can't hit me. You can't hit me, guy. Instant reaction, you know what? I'm bored of these things flying and just gonna morph in Ravagers, and well, exploiting that fact that these units are not moving for quite a while right now. Well, she can actually probably land on that natural instead and do some damage, but maybe she just wants to pull back and not do any more damage and keep these marines up and alive. That's also a good choice here. 3rd command center on the way. Liberator is here as well, and yeah, well, it's gonna be scouted for the 3rd base, but it doesn't matter too much. Sitaska has to come back from that huge damage output she just took in a moment. And look at this roach. Speed is done. Ravagers are there as well. So it's all going up to be a huge attack here. These 2 medevacs can still come back and harass for more fun later on in the game. 5 marines cleaning out that overload is actually the way. 1+1 attack is also researched. The combat shields as well. And well, more barracks to be pumped. There's macro going fine on Unfabulous Estatte's side. Look at this attack here. 5-6 marines not gonna be enough to hold that many roaches. Lifting off. You know what? I'm going home, and that's exactly the feeling that you get right now from watching this. Lots of roaches, Liberators sieging up, more tanks there, and that's a huge damage output there. If she just stands underneath that, she just loses her entire army. +1 defense is completed here. 3rd command center is back on the way. 4th is also there, but the sensor tower, interesting. Medevacs are back on the fight, but take assault with the spore crawler. Ooh, maybe this medevac will perish through that harassment, but 3 drones taken in total. There's lots more damage to be done, microing that medevac back, and now it's all about the damage you do on the queen. These roaches and ravagers here are not doing anything, and they could be a help in that situation. But 11 drones taken down, that's a huge assault there. That's a tremendous amount of damage that Sitaska has to come back from once again. And look at this. Well, you know what? I'm gonna try and attack, but these roaches are just impaling themselves on the tank's damage there. That's just way too much, and she can't just break through that. So yeah, all these marines doing some damage. The focus fires on these roaches is pretty well done. All these marines are gonna perish, but 13 drones in total taken in that harassment. Well done by Estatte here, taking a serious lead in that stage of the game. 3rd and 4th command center are there, and well, planting that down here, well, that feels like, how to say, you know, it feels like, you know what, you see me but I don't care. Spires planted down for Sitaska, Mutalisk, Sunoka's best unit, you know. Trying to maybe find another opponent to do some damage. There's no turrets though in the main base and the naturals. They could be really relevant in the situation. However, these marines are in a huge lot, and well, there's +1/+1, maybe +2/+2 in a few moments, and well, these marines just can shred through that. But instead, there's corruptors instead of mutalisks, and I can't. I don't know if that's the best choice, you know, because even if there's medivacs you can snipe from, all this damage output from the marines will be totally enough to take that down. And, well, there's not much you can do. And here is a scout from Sitaska. You know what's coming up. Banelings and Lings would have helped here. There's lots of bio forces here, and if, well, if just anything, if a good Baneling connection could happen, well, look at this attack damage here on that Corruptor. Everything goes up so quickly with the Marines output there. Everything's melting through. First bias, dodge completely, goes up a move and just goes forward, chasing these roaches down, taking that hatchery, taking the drones there as well. Nothing survives, and look at this army. This is just a lot that Sitaska cannot really deal with these roaches and ravages. Bios are coming down, but that's way not enough. The tank's damage is high as well, and even the fourth, which is there, is not gonna survive long with that tank's DPS on these drones. That's just a lot of damage there. And like Sitaska now has to find a solution. What do I do? Fungal growth could be a way, but she needs 3 or 4 more infestors to make it worth, and that's not gonna happen in a few moments. This 6. Oh, look at this! Good fungal, but that's not enough. The tanks are there, and she's like, wait, maybe. No, even taking the bias is way too long. She took too much time to micro that out, and look at this tank's damage. That's just way too much. Sitaska in a really dire situation here, taking the tank's damage front on, and these roaches are just trying to find a concave, but there's just too much DPS output here. The rest of the army comes up in the front. There's nothing left on Sitaska's side. GG called. Estatte takes game number 1. Starting on the bottom right of Belcher Vestige, it is the Yellow Zerg player down 1-0 in this best of 5. It is Sitaska. On the other side, we have the Blue Terran, up 1-0 in this best of 5, playing a huge attack style on bio. It is Estatte. I'm really curious, what will Sitaska do now in that position? You're down 1-0 and you don't want to take that second map because it means that your opponent is going to have a leeway to take any sort of risks they won't, because they'll have they won't mind as much as if they were behind in the skull count. So yeah, there we go. Sitaska probably change up her strat a little bit or change her style. We've seen lots of Ravagers and Roaches. Maybe she'll go for Lingbane this time with Mutalisk. Hard to tell right now. Rax with the refinery here, scouting with the SCV, being a preventive here. Estatte doesn't want to have any early link assault on the command center. She's gonna plant low ground, and that's a way to make sure of it. The macro spawning pool throws people off, exactly. Yo Veritas and Yo Sitaska, I didn't see you. Kitos TT is joining as well. MTP Viper is here too. Well, thank you guys for watching already. We're gonna have fun today. We're still going on the second match of the Billionaires League. Sitaska against Estatte, and Estatte just leading 1-0 right now. You didn't miss anything. The first best of 5 was Ryza against Miyuni, and Ryza took it 3-0 with a convincing lead. But the games were still interesting. You can still watch it in VOD afterwards, because I know that Judo's gonna do the work. You know, I'm the one talking right now, and he's the one that is gonna have to cut all the videos afterwards. Wink! Sorry. That's why I'm trying to do my best to make the job easier for him. First Reaper called down, and we have the barracks. Number 2 planted down the 2-1-1. I feel the 2-1-1 once again. Yeah, reacted there. We're gonna see what the Reaper sees there, and well, 4 links as earlier. That's the classic opener for Zerg here against Reaper expand Terran styles. Well, Reaper is here hidden. Maybe he's waiting for the 3-10 timing as Estatte was doing earlier, to just scout the tech and see what the opponent gears up to. She's just gonna see a couple links there. Oh, the actually doesn't attack. Well, it's not seen by Sitaska yet. Okay, here's the Reaper. Hi. The Queen's gonna be there to, well, intercept a little bit of the damage, but, well, This Reaper is probably not likely to take any drone here, and these Lings are gonna do the difference. Oh, maybe she's gonna have to sacrifice it to see what's going on, and no, she saves it really well. I'm going home, and don't take any more damage. There's no tech scouted there, but yeah, as I told you, Tech Lab, Factory, Starport is on the way, most likely more Marines to be pumped out as well. No, Sitaska knows that this is the sort of build her opponent is doing, and she's sticking with the Roach Warren as a deck choice here, and that's interesting. Let's see if she's gonna attempt a breakthrough instead of actually perishing through that first drop, which dealt a lot of damage in that first game. But for now, creep spread is on the way, making sure that Reaper is not gonna go unscouted in the base, and that's a way to do so as well. The creep spread is really important in all these matchups because this provides you map vision like nothing else. This is really interesting to have as a skill. His foldings here to make sure that oh well, time to scout, time to see this Reaper. Oh, good circle here, the Reaper just dies. No damage, no scouting on the deck here, and well, what will Estatte do here? There's like nothing to cover up on that command center. The Marines are in the base. Impact Research is on the way, the Factory and the Starport are both working their way with the reactor, and soon the completion here. Well, okay, I think this is sensed by Estatte. She like sort of feels like, well, she circled my Reaper really soon, and well, I know she's been going roaches the past game, so I could probably be vulnerable to that sort of assault, and taking that bet. She's building a bunker at home, but look at this. Sitaska taking 8 roaches, making 12 Lings in the back, but look at this, a third hatchery. So it's not completely all in, it's like, I'm gonna pressure you. I'm just gonna show you that I'm there, and if I can take a lot of damage, if I can take you off some units and take a lead, I'll do so with these first forces that I have, and roaches are known to be quite resistant against a batch of Marines. First couple roaches there, 8 more on the way. Lings are making their way through, and if she plays it right, the Lings can circle the way for the Marines, so they can't really come back. And here it is. Look at this Roach's force is really strong. There's no cover here, and look at these Marines just dying. There's no, there's nothing. There's really nothing here, and these Roaches are free to hit anything they like. 9 SCVs taken down, 12, 11. 13, there's just so much damage output here. There's no tank on the way, and there's just a Cyclone for now. Even if it's a lot of DPS, it's not gonna be enough. 15 SCVs taken down in that assault, and that's just a lot here. Wow, look at this, man. This supply taken away, the mule not doing anything. Here, I'm blocking you with my SCVs, you can't go forward. Look at this, the steam going forth, but the heal is on the SCVs instead of the Marines, which makes it a little bit harder. The Cyclones are gonna deal the DPS, but really all these 28 SCVs could have been saved alive, and well, Sitaska takes a convincing game number 2 on that one. This Cyclone is not gonna be saved, and well, it probably hits the end here. 34 workers, they're down. 1 worker and 1 mule back. That's all you have, and 5 Marines. Good luck to recover from that. Even if there's more Marines to be pumped out on the way, there's more roaches coming up. And look at this, look at the micro, look at the supply. 3 bases micro, and the bunker here with the survivor SCV here. This is my turf now, this is my place, this is my spot. Sheldon Cooper is that SCV. This roach is gonna perish, but you know what? Well, 2 SCVs, 1 mule. It's time to attack, take that bunker assault, and make the best out of the last bits of units that you have. 2 more Marines gonna stay in the base. This roach is just gonna prevent that command center to lay down once more. Not gonna use the mules on that one. This SCV is gonna die. No, Sheldon Cooper, you were remembered for your skills of taking 1 spot, and this is how you perish. 75 minerals saved out on that bunker. This is how to open up the game once more. Well, this feels like Heart of the Swarm and Wings of Liberty, you know. I have 6 SCVs, and I'm just gonna try to do the game once more, and that's really interesting to say. Like, this is the sort of type of comeback situations that could be really interesting. However, there's lots of roaches, and I don't know how Estatte intends to counter that one. It's just so much, and as soon as these overlords scout the medivacs going in the main base, there's no hope of them doing some sort of damage, and the roaches will be attacking from the back as well. The baneling nest is planted down. There's no are there upgrades? Yeah, the upgrades are speedling, so there's no attack upgrade. I'm just making the whole way around. Ravagers there. We don't have tanks, just have a tech lab building, and we have a lot more marines on the way. But these marines will eventually meet these roaches, and these medivacs will be meeting the main base, but there's waiting for them a spore, and a queen will be enough for now. So the infestation pit here to research the hive instead of the lair here, and well, 3 marines dies out of nothing. The medivacs coming back. Well, not seeing these guys here. No, I didn't have anyone to pick off. I'm coming back home, and look at the damage in the main base. 5 more drones taking down, but well, even if the infestation pit and this spore goes down, there's no medivac left here. So, well, these units are bound to die anyway. There's just nothing left here. GG called straight. Sitaska takes game number 2, makes it a 1-1. In this best of 5, we have on the bottom of Proxima Station at 6 o'clock, well, 7 o'clock, a yellow Zerg, which just taking a blow off that other player on the other side. It is Sitaska. So it's 1-1. We have on the top at 1 p.m. Well, the blue Terran is Estatte. Same sort of opener from before, and well, as I've been saying earlier, guys, I'm just posting all the visuals on Twitter using the hashtag FSLSC to make sure to join me there as well, and vote for the player that you want to win in these engagements. The first, I've seen people in the chat asking the previous matches. Yeah, okay. The scores, Elrod asks, what are the scores so far? For now in this game, it's 1-1, and in the game, in the best of 5 previously, it was 3-0 for Ryza against Miyune. So, I'm gonna show you the scoreboard afterward, guys, don't worry about that. But yeah, here we have the pool in a few moments, taking off that drone though. Oiled up build order there. Refinery, the same build order as before, getting that Rax, getting that Reaper, and getting that command center straight afterwards. And the advantage of that map, look with me guys, oops, there we go. Look at this, you have a free base, woo, protected by rocks there. And even your third is like, you have only way in, protected by rocks there. So this path is like a conduit for your second to third base, and even for your fourth if you take it there. So that's really interesting. Reaper coming fourth, command center number 2 planted down on the natural spot, and that's very logical from the Terran player. We'll see on the other side the hatchery coming up in a few moments with the double queen build, and the foldings coming up again. America, fuck yeah. Just reading the chat as well, don't worry. Reaper is on the way, fourth here. Speedling on the way, 2 queens. And I've seen pairs of links building. We have the reactor on the barracks, the command center number 2 morphing, and the barracks number 2 forming as well. So, well, we'll see what this Reaper is going to scout for here. Well, I've seen that base, so it could mean there's a third hatchery on the way. Oh, well, the micro here, Mike Rowe being spotted here, but the drones are blocking each other. Oh, this one's taken down. It's all about how this one can survive, and this one dies as well. 3 drones, well, 1 incapacitated as the extractor cancelled out. Two links making the harassment there. Sorry about that. 3 links in total, 1 taken down by a Reaper. Good harassment here, good poke from Estatte, making sure that nothing happens too much. And well, the queen's there, taking the injects and all, but you know, there's no tech yet, there's nothing to scout much more than this, so, well, she can just chill with that Reaper at that place for now, so she can see every sort of ground unit that comes up if they are actually coming out of the base. Creep spread is really important, and I feel that Sitaska was about to plant that first creep tumor there, and it could be interesting if Estatte could scout it and deny it with the grenades. That could be good to, how to say, annoy Sitaska a little bit as a Terran player. Overlord scout placed in a very strategic post again. Like, I didn't notice that much from the previous game. Maybe I was busy on other stuff, but Sitaska has good overlord placement. She's had 1 there, one there to scout the third, and the units coming out of there, and this one is gonna probably come up around there. Well. So yeah, good overlord spread from Sitaska here. She's been very consistent with that as well. This Reaper is gonna perish. Good DPS output on that. Links around here with 3 links, it's hard to do. And I've seen like lots of good players like True or other Zerg players like Stefano. I'm still watching his streams on time to time. And they do that sort of thing a lot, like trying to circle a Reaper with 3 links coming on the 3 triangle way, you know. The golden rule, if you guys know about the Lonely Island. But well, second command center, refinery number 3, double refinery there, and 3 SCVs on each, double medevacs. The 2-1-1 is pumping again. Couple links going to poke here, but nothing to be done so far. And now it's all about how Estatte goes out with the medevacs. If she goes in the 3 path, in one of the 3 paths where there's the overload, it's gonna be scouted. Oh, huge Baneling assault. Maybe just not assault, but just defense here. Just Baneling morphing. But that's interesting. She's just switching her playstyle from roaches to Banelings. Double Evo chamber, ground upgrade to be pumped out. And now it's all about how. Look at this. It's gonna dodge the overload. Oh, not even. It's seen. It's totally seen there. I was so hopeful. I was like, well, Estatte is just a mastermind, you know, like she's gonna dodge the overlords and be like, well, you've expected me, here I come back. In the main base there's no spore, there's just the queen waiting and the Baneling nest. It's not gonna be, I'd say, a good defense here. And I think Sitaska is just focusing on defending that third base because she wants this to be safe, because it's the furthest one from the base. We have double medevacs coming up in a few moments. In that base, 5:45 is the timing, getting back in that mineral lane, and now it's all about Sitaska. How does she react to that? And look at this, the Banelings and Lings are coming at the same time, but taking the queen is already a huge deal. She can set up in the minerals, taking most of the Lings away, most of the drones as well, 3 drones, and now it's all about the split, getting back in that medevac. It's a good way to do so, going back in the natural third base instead and taking more drones as the medevac mobility can allow, and 3 more marines here to be pumped down, here to take even more drones, and that's just epic. Look at this. The Banelings are doing a lot of damage, but they are actually oh no, look at this. The Banelings connection were bad for the Zerg player, because every link died on like every Baneling died on like 1 or 2 marines, which is bad. You don't want that to open your game with. And Sitaska is already behind by 12 workers, and by switching that playstyle, she already shows a threat to Estatte by being like, well, you've been going rushes past both games, and now you're going Link Bane like most other Zergs. How do you do with the standard style? Because how to say standard? Well, this is more how the Zerg players are actually doing their CVT sometimes. So I'm expanding on that topic, but the thing is to tell, well, I can be a versatile player by playing different styles, and I'll let you see how I can perform in that style as well, even if it's not my main first style, and I can still give you trouble. And I think that's what Sitaska is after here. Maybe correct me in the chat. I know you're here, so a third command center planted down for Estatte. Her +1/+1 pumped out the Baneling speed and the +1 armor with the infestation pit going along with the spire. So Mutaling Bane is the composition of choice here for Sitaska, taking the 4th base, a double gas here as well, making sure she has enough whenever the Metalisks are gonna come up, because it takes a lot of gas. Even if she wants, the infestors as well with the fungal upgrade, that could be interesting as well. Well, the sensor tower sees everything, gets that overlord vision, and not this one though, but that's enough for now. 3 base economy, 2 tanks, 2 marauders, and lots of ruins. That's what you need as a Terran right now. What's the transition? Getting the armory up in the back here to make sure that she's gonna follow up on these upgrades, and now more medevacs, more marines, more Widow Mines. Well, Widow Mines play against Linkbane, this is what you want, because you can easily mess up a micro situation where you were ahead as a Zerg and just a move, get 12 links taken out from a Widow Mine blast, and that is frustrating as a Zerg player. Double +1 melee and carapace +2, sorry. Look at this, the scout, look at this. the drones here shows that there's a fourth base here, fifth already, and now if she attacks it now, she could cancel it. If she waited like just 5 seconds more, this base could have been completed. Oh no, she doesn't still. Oh, that's too bad. Taking 300 minerals loss here, taking more drones on the way, widow mines and tanks. It's been scouted, but what can you do as Sitaska right now? There's like so many positions to defend in that path. Look at this. She can either take some Marines Marauder, drop there, take tanks and everything, attack there, and well, even take another medevac, drop there, and the medevac that was using 3 rings earlier, well, drop anywhere here as well. Well, any sort of possibility is good here. Mutalisks, the first few Mutalisks are there, and there's like 4 of them, and that's not gonna be enough to take off these tanks and these widow mines. So I'm really eager to see fungal growth. Okay, that's more like it. That's more like it. Taking these changelings out of the way is one of the priorities as well. Making sure that your opponent doesn't know what you're doing at each time. Every information is capital here, and look at this. The burrowing mine is one of the most dreadful units ever. Be careful of that one. And the... is it a... oh, look at this. Good attack here, but that's not enough. The connection on the banelings were absolutely not enough. There's not enough units at all. Estatte just making a huge blow in Sitaska's economy here, taking every single unit that she has. And look at this. The tanks are just gonna melt. Through the hatcheries, the drones, and the lings as well. The mutalisks are just gonna perish as well. The focus fire from Estatte is good, taking all the lings, burrowing the mines. Well, there's a lot of DPS output there. And what can you do really here? What can you do? Taking the third base, 12 drones off the way. There's almost nothing left you can do here. Even more things to be pumped out in that base. 3 base economy Shreks 4-1, and well, Estatte looks like she's gonna get her way through that second point in that best of 5 with the 13 drone blow in the economy and the hatchery taken down. The banelings are muffed and the splits is not there, but who cares? There's just enough units, even though the splits weren't there. It doesn't matter. We have enough bio here to just take down the rest of the bases. The +1 carapace for air units is researched, but well, there's no mutalisks there. 9 on research, but there's lots of marines left. 1 more dice, 2 more dice. 26 drones perished in that 30 drones. Well, there's so much that dies right now, and well, Medevac's joining, and Sitaska is just in a very, very dire situation here. GG called by Sitaska. Spawning on the bottom left of Newkirk Precinct. It is the yellow Zerg that she has to come back from. That sentence didn't make any sense. Let me rewind that. Spawning on the bottom left of Newkirk Precinct. It is the yellow Zerg Sitaska. And spawning on the bottom right of Newkirk Precinct, the blue Terran up 2-1 in this best of 5. It is Estatte. The newcomers match is making a fury right now. Voice yourself out in the chat about that, because I think we're gonna have a 5th match. Like this feels really tense between both players, and I feel like we have sort of a status quo in terms of skill and areas to play with here. So Sitaska's trying to switch up the playstyle, and getting the hatchery first is one of the standard things to do in a ZVP. But yeah, Sitaska is just showing the attempt of trying to how to say, adapt to the other player's playstyle, and that's a good way to do so. The 2-1-1's been damaging in both games where Estatte won, and that we've seen as well that if Sitaska holds it really well or just goes for a massive roach attack, well, Estatte doesn't hold it really well. So both can actually exploit these areas where both are strong or bad in this best of 5, and that's what the interesting part is. Woo! Just need to drink a little bit and I'll be fine speaking. Okay. Scout straight on the hatchery. Well, nothing's too surprising. No proxy hatchery, no cats build like, and well. Oh, I like this a lot. And I like this as well. Like, if you Terran friends can answer me in the chat, I've never understood why Terran player would always prefer to have that barracks placed there and have the reactor there and the second supply there, when you can have a reactor that finishes up the wall for free. Well, takes up the last space. So if you guys can answer me in the chat, that would be wonderful. Don't forget to tag me, because well, I'm not the owner of this channel, you know. So it can be complicated for me to see. And yeah, Maracos, it is me, it's Raptor. How you doing, man? 3 racks, this is something that I love seeing here. Like this. I don't know if that's gonna be a bunker push here, or is it gonna be like some kind of repo, or is it just gonna be full marine steam pack and just go for it, you know? I'm really eager to see that. 4 links pumped out as the build order, 6 links in total, sorry. I think Sitaska feels like something is wrong, there's no repo yet. There's something that should be happening instead. The overloads are placed, and as I told you in the previous game, Sitaska's overload placement is quite good, so this is something that has been really playing in her strength when she's been needed to hold some sort of drop aggressions from Estatte, even though she still dealt a lot of damage, but that's because of Marine's placement and the Steam Pack research, which is really pumped out. And I like the attempt of going for 3 racks Steam Pack attack here. This is like no command center low ground, and this is like a huge attack that could come forward. Roach Warren planted out immediately, no Reaper. This means an aggression, and I think that I'm not sure. Yeah, she sees the Marines there, so it just is a sign of Estatte not wanting to be scouted at all. So that's just like impressive. Yeah, we're going back to Wings of Liberty with that build, the 3 rack Steam Pack attack, and yeah. Look at this, more supply, look at the supply, and we have rings, roaches soon. Well, getting that extract to trick. Well, I'm really curious. How will Sitaska do in that situation? Like in terms of unit, look at this, 15 rings, 1 marauder. She could totally end that up right now. 5 roaches though. This all plays down there, and look at this marine just trying to take out these overlords himself. Rumble! Gonna take it out really slowly, but it's still gonna work. It's time for the big F2 attack, I think. Yeah, that's the. Oh, with the boys, man, the boys. Look at the boys. Taking the boys. It doesn't smell good for Sitaska here. Lots of roaches. It's all about the kiting situation now. Well, it's all about how you kite that up, because there's lots of SCVs. The SCV train choo-choo is here. Oh, look at this. She's like, oh, I'm feasting on that, man. This is what the Zerglings are saying right now. Oh, the A move on the Roach stopped early preemptively, and now there's no tanks. There's nothing to tank up the damage with the SCVs. So 8 SCVs taken for free, and that's all about the how to say, the output that these Marauders Marines will do against these roaches. That's lots of units. The steam pack is being pushed, but careful, you can't steam too much with that assault, because if you steam too much, there's no heal, there's no medivacs in the back. So all you gotta do is focus fire now. All you gotta do as Estatte is to focus fire these roaches one by one, and this is not done. The Lings are taking out most of the forces here. There's only the 2 Marauders left. This is how to say, a very bad situation for Estatte, as she was leading in a few moments this game with the steam pack and the huge Marauder Marine force. It doesn't matter much if you steam or steam too preemptively and take the assault without focus firing these roaches. This was the key in this engagement, and this didn't happen. Estatte is in a very dire pinch right now, and she's gonna have to come back in that situation where she doesn't have a second command center, so she doesn't have a how to say, an economic supply that is on par with Sitaska. So yeah, Estatte is in a bad situation here. All Sitaska has to do is to morph up into Ravagers and take these buildings out one by one, zoning out the Marines and Marauders here. The only way out for Estatte is to get through that supply depot here. Combat Shield is research, and I'm convinced that Sitaska knows in what lead she is right now, taking more engagement as the time flies by. And look at this, the focus fire on the roaches is done right, and this is what we've wanted in the first stage when we had the first engagement. 4 SCV taken down, but is it gonna be the last push from Estatte? Is it gonna be the last, because there's 8 more roaches on the way, and I'm sure that these 8 roaches will focus fire that Marauder and then will take out the rest of the Marines, even with steam pack. Like there's almost no health to be reckoned with, and one hit from these roaches on this team, the Marines could always take them away, even with one link blow here. So that's very interesting. Let's see how that force is going to run through the map, but I'm not convinced that this is going to make a difference at all. Look at all these roaches, these queens. I don't feel like Estatte can take this one now. She's 2 behind. She has way less units than her opponent, and look at this. 2 queens attack, but look at this, the heal makes it not worth, and now the Lynx can feast on the Marines, taking one hit off them one by one. There's nothing left, and now all you have to do is kite to make sure you take those Lynx out and try to come back in the game. But yeah, look at this is way too much GPS here. All the Roaches have to do is to just run through, get to that natural, morph into Ravagers, and just go for the kill here with just no tanks. Just even if there's one morphing right now, it's not gonna matter if you have way more than your opponent. Sitaska just plays it very safe. Take that third and take the lair upgrade. Even like, well, I like how she still wants to play it safe even if she knows that she is ahead. This is a mark of experience there, not trying to finish it so quick. And no, they know. Sitaska knows that there's a siege tank here, and all the quest is about to focusing it. And look at this, very well done, tackling it out. And well, this is the roach output for you, but the Marines attack is way too much for these couple roaches. Even though as soon as Sitaska takes trades and takes Marine out of Estatte, this is enough. This is way enough because she only has 1 command center mining on 6 mineral patches and 2 gases. This is not enough. This is way not enough to make anything matter right now. Command center is being planted down, and this is the opportunity that Sitaska wants here if she wants to push on that natural, because as these 400 minerals are built, there's no units to be attacking with, and if Estatte just drops in the main base, she's gonna be welcomed with 2 spines and a spore. This is gonna be a murder here. Murder. Mermaid murder. Yeah, I don't think like. Though this could be very disastrous for Sitaska because she's actually pushing in the other side of the map at the same time as this drop is coming forth. If she doesn't have any other defense than the queen and the spines, this is not gonna matter. The spine's gonna be taken down really quickly. 3 queens on the way, taking the medivacs first. Good job on 1 medivac, may be taken out. Not even focus firing them though. He's still healing a lot, and the spine's still doing damage, but that's not gonna be enough. Taking some drones on the way, she's gonna have to pull back. She doesn't have any choice here. Taking the drones away, taking M on the 4th base instead. 2 medivacs alive. She's gonna have to take the pull out if she wants to make it matter and make it a comeback here. First Ravager on the way. Boop. Not gonna land on the Marines or any unit there. All the roaches are there. There's no defense. There's nothing that how to say, Estatte can do in that situation. Now it's all about the queen taking out the medivacs there, and now it's a trap. It's a wrap completely. Taking out the medivac is one of the keys as well. Oh yes, taking it out. There's a full medivac here full of Marines, and on the other side we have a run by. Sitaska actually going forward here, taking the reactor out, making it 1 Reaper at a time, and now has the freeway in the base. And I don't see where did the medivac go away. No, the medivac is here, landing off here, just dodged all the queens, and it's all about the damage there. And there's so much damage dealt by all the Ling and Ravager Roach harass here that is just making it worthless to have units on the map and attacking at the base at the same time. If Estatte wants to live through that game, she's gonna have to defend at home and not have these Marines attacking there. 5 SCVs taking down on the other side. The tank is doing damage, but look at this, taking down immediately. There's no chance for that tank to do more damage. These Lings are taking care of the rest of the Marines Reaper attack, and these Roaches are making the rest of the job. Now all that Sitaska has to do is to defend at home, and the game is hers, making it a 2-2 here. That's just really exciting. GG called. Sitaska spawning on the bottom right of Paladino Terminal here. The yellow Zerg. It is Sitaska, showing a great defense the past game. And we have on the top left of Paladino Terminal the blue Terran. It is a fabulous Estatte here. 2-2 in this best of 5. This is very interesting. Let's see what happens next. First supply depot planted down. The Rax is gonna come up after that. And well, will we have double extractor trick here to call up double drones? Maybe failed up the overload timing? Nah, just making it quicker here. The drone's gonna come up that way and take that base naturally, as it's supposed to be. Wings of Liberty builds are not there anymore. Hey Zumperio as well. Thanks for joining in, guys, in the chat. We have a lot of hype on that 5th match of this best of 5, making Sitaska and Estatte meet each other here in this week number 2 of the FSL. Okay, I want to remind again that I'll be casting as well the games tomorrow instead of judo, but I hope you guys don't mind that because I'm still gonna have lots more graphics, a lot more visuals, and a lot more stuff to show and share with you with these replays. But for now, let's get back into the game with gas, hatchery, more drones, and the pool planted down here for the Zerg player. Paladino Decider, dance game, exactly. This is like one of the hardest map to get on with. Look at this. Okay, there's this smoke area where you can totally drop marines. There's all of this area where you can actually drop marines. There's all of this area where you can drop marines, and look, I'll let you guess what you can do here and there as well. So, if you were a Terran player, this is one of the dream maps for you. Well, Zergs can also abuse the path, but look at this. It's easy to wall as a Terran player with the supply depots and even barracks. So, well, this is sort of a map which is coin flippy. Even it's either the Zerg has a good all-in on that map, or either the Terran knows how to defend, how to drop, and how to abuse the hell out of the main and the natural base here. Speedling on the research, reactor, and we fall back to that classic 2-1-1 style. Let's get back to game number 1 and see what happens here. I think this is the mindset for Estatte, and now we'll see on Sitaska's side what is the mindset. Getting a Reaper here will be the difference. The Queen's not there already, and well, this could be a good amount of damage here. Maybe taking 1 or 2 drones before the Queen goes out. There's no links on the way. 1 drone perished out on that harassment. 2nd drone on the way as well. The Queen's gonna take out some damage on the Reaper, but it's not enough now to kill it. We have the 2nd Queen on the natural base, and now look at this. The Reaper's still being annoying as annoying as possible, taking some mining time out of these drones. Taking 2 drones was already a good deal in the early stages of the game. This is a way to ensure sort of a lead, to be said. 2nd base planted down there. No risks to be taken. Maynarding, Maynard not without the E actually, because this is not Maynard the caster, which propages this threat. But yeah, taking some of the SCVs out, taking them on the natural instead. 2 marines out, maybe to chase off overlords, and this is a good way to do so. 2 queens met there with the Cryptumor and the Reaper. So now, Roach Warren, let's fall back on game number 1's mindset and do the best of what's able. Oh, taken down here. Okay, this is has it been scouted? No, it's not. Because I've seen the Marines coming back, but I was like, well, it's scouted then. It is. But no, it isn't. So interesting. Lair research, double gas on the natural, not 4th on the main. So well, Queens are still on the way. These Marines, like 8 Marines, like definitely this is the way to tell I'm going to 1-1 once more. If you're Sitaska, you know that this is the amount of Marines that one Terran player can have if they go 2-1-1, and maybe scouting that reactor. I don't know if she scouted the the steam researcher. She doesn't know anything past that point, beyond that point. Well, the walls are being there, and as I told you guys, this is really easy to wall there as Terran because, well, supply depots are the bane of Zergling harassments there. So you can lift them up, you can put them down, and everything goes fine for you. You choose it up. This is almost like a dating website, you know. Swipe right to get it down. If you know what I'm talking about. Okay, let's not go further on that point. Steam pack research is there. Double medivacs pumped with the Liberators on the follow-up. So that's interesting. That's what she did in game number 1, getting 1 Liberator to make sure that any sort of Roach Ravager or Harass is not going to go further and actually exploit out the tank Liberator siege potential. That's very good. That's very good. Tank, siege tank research. We have double medivac. We have the Marines almost there to get into them, and well, this is time now. There we go. 2-1-1 respected wonderfully. The timing is there, but the medivacs are not at the base at the right timing though. Getting there is gonna be a long moment, and well, I think the longer you wait and the harder it is for the Terran to do some damage, because well, let's see as it is. When the Zerg player has the drones, they can just go for massive amounts of units. So that's what Zerg players are mostly going up to when they go for how to say a third base really quickly in the game. They just want to have all the drone saturation up and just go for mass units afterwards. Double drop here. It's not gonna be enough. All the DPS output on these medevacs. All the queens, all the ravagers. No, you're gonna have to go away and save these marines. There's no other choice here. Look at this. There's so many roaches and ravagers there. There's the tank in the main base. The third command center is almost complete. And yeah, there. 8 marines, 1 siege tank, 1 liberator, 1 medevac as well. I don't know how Estatte can do right now to maximize the output she could have with these medevacs and marines. So let's see further down the game if she goes through that infestation pit already, getting that fungal attack. I'm curious now. I'm curious. Maybe getting that plus 2, plus 2, plus 3, plus 3 really quickly, and getting that crackling upgrade. If you guys don't know, it's the upgrade that makes the Lings attack with a speed rate of I don't know, 40% more than usual. So yeah, they just deal a whole lot more damage than if they were doing normally. So yeah, I don't know what will be the tech choice here. Spire as a game number 3, if I recall correctly. So let's see, double Evo Chamber, getting the +1/+1 for ranged units. So yeah, it makes sense because there's roaches, ravagers there. But well, let's see if it's gonna work soon. We have the double medevac drop coming back in the base, natural base of Sitaska here. Estatte trying to deal some damage, taking some drones off, and with this liberator taking down some drones as well. Well, double, like the blow left, the 1-2, as you call it in boxing, the 1-2 was actually a good way to deal some damage. 12 drones taken off of that with 1 liberator as a trade-off. So that's a very good trade for Estatte here, but she's gonna have to keep doing this more and more often if she wants it to be worth it, because she's lost a lot not doing damage with these marines and medevacs here, and she knows that she knows that Sitaska has a lot of units there, so that could be complicated as well. +1/+1 research. Barracks not working, but that's okay. Estatte is showing tank and a Marines medevac with Marauders as well, so I'm eager to see what happens next. We have the Hive. 4th base for Sitaska, taking the crit spread a level further here. Look at this, this is really amazing. The vision. Just put yourself in. This is amazing, you have half the map for yourself. This is what a Zerg player feels like. Just look at this, this is magnificent. Siege tanking up on the 3rd base, taking it there. Not there. The choice is because here is harder to defend in case of muta harass and stuff like that, because they have leeway, and this is more of a place where you can juggle between bases as mutalisks or any sort of units. But the run bys are really easy to do here. You just get a couple links there, get their mutalisks in the main, and eventually some other links there if the supply depots are lowered like this. Swipe left. I'm gonna just keep going with that running gag, you know. +2, +1. That's interesting. Ground Carapace level 1 is almost done. +1/+1 for the Terran side is done soon as well. +1 Carapace for the air units here as well. So I'm curious. Is it? Oh, Ultra Disc Cavern. Woo! Ultra Discs, man. Ultra Discs. Look at this vision, man. Look at this. This is. You have half the map for yourself. This is a good setup for Sitaska though. Getting that Viking could be really damaging for some of the lords, and still gets an alert on your map, you know, you still get this alert, and it feels really feels stressful when you're feeling an alert. And oh, I like the double jab here, trying to take some of the damage. Oh, if she's not watching here, look at this Marines dying on the pressure, tanks singing up, look at this roach, and this is a really great engagement here for Sitaska, taking most of the damage of her hands, taking 3 tanks. She's gonna have to pull back now because she can't do really much more damage from that, but she's got a good engagement from that attack, getting everything back. Well, I've taken 3 tanks away, there's nothing that scares me anymore. Coming back here, the space cows are pumping in 2/2 here. Marine assault here with the medevacs that were on the side. They suffered a bit of damage, but yeah, you know, stuff happened, and while she's busy with that, she's gonna have to deal with this 5 tank, 3 Marauder, 6 Marines assault with 5 medevacs in the front. So yeah, it's all about how she can manage that through though. Scarabtas making their way through to intercept that army. The Queen's taking the damage here, but yeah, the tank sieged up, the scan's going through. There's still lots of crit spread though, so she can still see what's happening, she can still see the reinforcements, and now this is where she decides to go at it. Get the corruptor damage output on the medevac. The Space Codes are joining in the battle, but yeah, for now that's just not enough. Joining in here, taking some first slices on these Marines, are still doing a lot of damage here, but not the plus attack melee with the Space Codes, not gonna work enough. And look at this, Sitaska just lost a good engagement that she could have won by just fighting on that choke, which was at the advantage of Estatte here, just trying to take more damage, as now that she has some ground units to take off some gas drones and minerals drones here. Maybe takes that fourth base away. Double Liberator, but that's not enough against this Corruptors. The Space Codes are still doing damage, and the Marauders just taking off really easily here. The siege tanks are doing a lot of damage there. Look at this. Would Muta do better? I'm not sure about that. Muta, they would be like vulnerable to the Liberators and Marines more than the Corruptors would be. Space Codes are still on the way, but don't send them one by one. This is the way to make them die. But there's still a lot of resistance here. Look at these slices. The 1, 2 Perissurge, and the third one is about to as well. Yeah, this is lots of gas and minerals taking down on each unit. This is why you should be careful with every single tech unit you build, as this is how you can lose engagement. Broodlords, woohoo! This is the game of our lives right now. The tanks will be useless against them, even though there's Vikings. I don't believe there's medevacs left, are they? The slices from the Space Coast still doing a lot of damage, even more right now. Roaches are on the way, making sure that they can pierce through. Taking these tanks down could be a huge deal here for Sitaska. Will she do it? The slices are saying yes, but not enough here. Look at these Marines just trying to go through, and look at this. Look at this supply. We have 85 supply for Sitaska. Estatte is looking forward, taking that game right now, but there's Broodlords, there's this Ultras, and even though there's like bio and tanks, you gotta still be careful, because the splash damage from the Broodlords could be dreadful to Marines and Marauders packed together. Look at this. This is probably one of the last engagements we're gonna see. The Space Code dies first, alongside with couple Corruptors, and now it's all about how the Broodlords will do the damage here. It's all about taking the Marines down, and look at this. The focus fire is good, taking 1, 2, maybe the third Overlord, Broodlord L, and this is probably game from that point on. Estatte just with a convincing lead in these last engagements, just pierces through Sitaska's defenses here. Even with huge tech units, she didn't have anything to support them, and now we have Roaches, Broodlords, and 1 Ultra is coming back in the game, but this is definitely not going to be enough against that pack of Marine medevac tanks and Marauders. Oh, look at this. She's going to have to slice it through. No, she's saving it for now, but the Broodlords are being seen here. The Cocoons are here, so there's no damage output could be done there with the Corruptors left. Look at 5 Roaches that are going to die. The third base of Sitaska just dies out from that assault. The plus upgrades, the plus 2 upgrades from the Marines are just making their way through, and look at the unit supply now. 2 Queens, 1 Broodlord left. GG called. Estatte takes the last game 3-2. Well played.